Coming to you live from Iceworks in Syosset. You're listening to ACHA M3. Action here tonight featuring Farmingdale State College and Kutztown Golden Bears. Golden Bears and Rams here tonight. Listen to Ryan Brannigan alongside Wally Mitchell. Going to be taking you through this game here tonight. Get right into it. Farmingdale off to quite the start this season. 9-4 record coming in are the Rams. Meanwhile, for Kutztown, not quite the start they would have wanted at 4-7. Did get a win in their last one out. It'll be the fifth time these two teams face each other this year, or all time, pardon. Second time this season. Fifth time in the last 3 seasons these two teams have faced each other. They met back on September 20th in the 2025 Keystone kickoff. Farmingdale won that game 5-1. Last season, Kutztown swept the series, winning 8-4 and 4-3 against Farmingdale. All time, Kutztown lost to Farmingdale on November 18th, 2023, 8-5. As I mentioned, they beat Farmingdale then in 2024 on November 23rd. Defeated them 8-4 and then winning on December the 7th, 4-3. As I mentioned earlier this year, 5-1 loss. So in the last 3 years, 2-2 record between the two foes. Some players to keep an eye on tonight. Noah Lavoie, 15 goals, 7 points, 7 assists, 22 points. Start the year. Great start for Noah Lavoie. Same could be said for Chris DeAndrea. 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points. For DeAndrea, for Kutztown, Chase Canestra has 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points to start the year. One of their key contributors. Another key contributor to watch for Kutztown, Aiden Isak. Isak has 9 goals, most on the team, 1 assist, 10 points for Isak. As Kutztown look to get their second consecutive win. Farmingdale as well look to keep the good times rolling. Again, off to a good start this season. Starting goaltenders tonight between the two sides for Farmingdale. We're going to roll with Pavone tonight. Luke Pavone getting the start. Smithtown Hauppauge native. On the other end of the ice, it's going to be Chuchi, Zach Chuchi, out of Leesport, Pennsylvania, who will be between the pipes for Kutztown. And with that, we're going to step aside for a moment, come back for the reading of the starting lineups, as well as the national anthem. And then we should be up and away as we get started here from Syosset. You're listening to Farmingdale ACHA M3 Hockey on LI Sports Network.
not updating a line. We're not updating any box to a line. You would have to go to their manual to see it. I didn't see that. Yeah, I had a hard time finding on there too. You know? It's like the thing. I know there's a lot of keys there, but they should manage it a little bit. That's just me
And with the conclusion of the anthem, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Iceworks in Syosset. Ryan Brannigan, Wally Mitchell on the camera. Farmingdale State Rams, Kutztown Golden Bears. Again, Farmingdale fresh off a 4-3 win against Rowan. That was back on the 1st of November. It was a 5-4 victory against Sacred Heart for Kutztown. So both teams coming off a win. Entering the matchup here tonight. And in between the pipes, once again for Farmingdale, Luke Pavone on the other end for Kutztown. It will be Zach Chucci. Again, you just heard our starting lineups here tonight. Up front for Kutztown, Isak. Going to be taking the draw is Bauer. On the other wing, Leone. For Farmingdale, winning the draw and getting shoved down was Luke Ferrazzi, as we're away. Rams send in. Aggressive on the forecheck is Ian Riberich. Puck kicks out to the far side for Lena to let one rip. It flies high and deflects up and out of play. No shot on goal registered just yet. Farmingdale 3-2 in their last 5. Heading into tonight's matchup, they'll win the faceoff on the far side, send it right back in, past the stick of Riberich. Board battle continues, as that involves D'Alessandro, wearing number 29 here tonight. Attempting to clear, cuts down to the line, Lena lets one go, deflects wide. Round to the near side, shot out into the neutral zone. Cuts down, look to break in. Nick Leone on the forecheck, he's promptly rejected by the good defense of Larry Lena. Cuts down, still struggling to get the puck in. They'll go D-to-D on the other side. Try the far side of the ice, that doesn't work. Comes back to the near side, flipped in gently by Anello. Picked up in his own end. And the Rams look to clear to the line, not out. Lena gets to it in the corner, absorbs a hit. Board battle ensues to his side. Farmingdale trying to gain possession. Helping him out there is Lafata. Luke Lafata jumped over the stick of the pinching defenseman Tanjuco, and Farmingdale able to escape the zone. Carrying it through center, Noah Lavoie, and the leading goal scorer for Farmingdale to this point in the year, as he's all the way up to 15 goals on the season. For Lavoie, definitely someone to look out for here tonight. Kutztown dump in. Griffin Carpenter trying to get a hold of it. Farmingdale promptly flip back to center, where it could be regathered in by Grealish. On the far side, potential turnover. Deflects back, good forecheck there provided by Wadika. Kutztown go D-to-D. Not many shots on goal to start the game thus far, as we're already 2.5 minutes through. Kutztown do establish the zone here. Sharp angle try, and it's sticked away by Pavone. First puck that has been directed near the Farmingdale 10D here tonight. Grillo reversing, Jaden Grillo. Wadika fanned on, potential turnover, but a good recovery there for Joey Castellano. Still not out of the zone yet. Farmingdale struggling to clear the zone here in the early goings. And now we'll get the first penalty of the game. It's going to go against Farmingdale. Power play Kutztown coming your way in just a moment. And it's been a rather uneventful start to the game thus far. See if that changes as off to the box is Castellano. My guess is boarding. I'll get official word from our live stats folks. Appreciate them. Power play Kutztown. First of the game for either side. They win the all-important offensive zone draw. Quickly put on net, or toward the goal, where it's handled now by Bauer. Bauer for Isak. Bauer deflects one on goal, and it's gloved by Pavone. Good job by Farmingdale to keep Kutztown to the outside there. We'll reset face-off to the right of the Ram Tendy. They go D to D, and that shot wide, coming off the stick of Ritz, and Farmingdale clear it out. All the way down. Right wing side. Now cutting toward the middle, good lead pass. Finds his man, it's Ritz. Round to the near side, Isak. Isak trying to spin out of the defending Donnie Pace. Wrapped around the ball to the other side. Far side. Looking for a lane, nothing there. And it's fired out. Great play by Wadika. Pardon me, Donnie Pace, 86. It's already a minute plus gone by on this man advantage for Kutztown. They've registered a single shot on goal to this point. Puck rolls in, can be played by Wadika. Wadika held in, good keep. It's O'Neill down low, chance out in front, Pavone the stop. Fired off the glass and not out. Good keep in there by Anello. He has O'Neill. O'Neill shoved against the boards. Puck pinned in the corner, 2-on-2 battle. Now O'Neill helps to make it a 3-on-2 battle, which is what you want on the power play. He gets sent to the ice. Big hit, dished out by Tom Forty. And here's Pace's shot. Deflects wide. Pace back on it. Power play over. Rams kill 1-for-1 to start the game. Joining the battle down low is LaFata. Kutztown dig it out. Try to flip it. Held in for the moment by the Rams. However, Kutztown do gain control. It's fired in off the stick of O'Neill. Rams trying to break out. Prevented the Rams from doing so that time was Captain Bailey Slotwinski. And Rams still having a lot of trouble getting out of their zone. Not many clean breakouts to this point. Kutztown sent it right back in deep. Pavone to stop it. Turned over behind the Rams net. Golden Bears pressing here. Good time in the ozone. Deflects on off the side of the net and then kicked through the crease. And again, held in at the line. Another good keep, again provided by Slotwinski. However, now the puck escapes the zone. Lena back to get it for the Rams. Lena ahead for LaFata. And now Lavoie dangles. Lavoie to the forehand. And a save made. First of the game made by Zach Chuchi. And Noah Lavoie proving why he has so many goals to start the year. Looking dangerous as he dangles the defense. Nothing to show for it for Farmingdale, though. Just trying to change that. I mean, not much offensive zone time for the Rams to this point as well. Look to get some here with the offensive zone draw. To the line where it's held in by Grillo. Down the wall, over the stick of Riberich. Try the near side, pinching in is Malandrucolo. However, the puck comes all the way out for Grillo. Grillo up the near wall, and again, a turnover. Here comes Kutztown. Aiden Isak, thrown out in front, just wide. There on the doorstep was Nick Leone. Meanwhile, breakout chance, Farmingdale. Great pass just behind his intended target as Farazi tried to feed the front of the net. Now a 2-on-1 becoming a 3-on-1 the other way for Kutztown. One-time shot, denied! What a save made by Pavone. Keeps it scoreless. Not what you want, a 3-on-1. The 2-on-1 disguised as a 3-on-1 as they hit the trailer, and Leone lets it fly. Excellent anticipation from Pavone. Anticipates that cross-ice pass coming, gets over and seals up as much of the net as possible. Great save for the Farmingdale netminder. Now Farmingdale going the other way. Wrist shot blocker save made by Chuchi as he stopped Jake Paul. Settled down now by Paratori. In the skates of Paul. Paul collects, takes a big hit, and then another hit. No call there as Kutztown plenty of time to try to make their way out of the defensive zone into the offensive zone. Round to the opposite corner. Pinching in Anello. Keeps it deep. On for Chase Canestro, one of the leading scorers for Kutztown. Ripping it into the O-zone is Carpenter. He's another player on Kutztown to look out for. Rams recollect. Stretch pass does not connect, but a hustling Donnie Pace erases an icing there. Kutztown recollect in their own end, though, and able to flip to center. Right onto the stick and set right back in. Glove down by Chuchi. And now Kutztown organizing in their own end. It's on the defenseman, Justin Tanjuko's stick. Turned over at the line, ripped on goal, blockered away by Chuchi. Lena keeps in. Good centering feed. A shot save made, rebound loose, and pouncing on the loose puck was Chuchi. Good shot there from Donnie Pace. Off the turnover along the near wall. Pace the opportunity. And Chuchi this time keeping the game scoreless. First clearing attempt fails. The second clearing attempt, Lena pinning up to the near wall. No scores. We're nearly 4 minutes through. That puck flipped up and out of play. It somehow missed all of the beams and landed down, becoming a souvenir, potentially. So they'll drop the puck. No change here for Kutztown. Farmingdale able to make a change and on to take the draw from the bench, Luke Lafata. However, one in the defensive end by Kutztown. Ripping around the net is Slutwinski. Bailey Slutwinski hopped over the stick of Grillo. Grillo fires around, passes defensive partner Malandrukalo. However, the Rams a more crispy breakout this time around. They'll enter the zone 3 aside. DeAndrea drops it back. Delayed penalty on Kutztown. DeAndrea in the opposite corner centers one, rejected. Trying to go all the way across to an open Lavoie, but too many sticks in the way of it. And Kutztown touched up, but Farmingdale will get their first turn on the power play in just a moment. 10:25 left here. In period number 1, no score between Kutztown and Farmingdale State. The 2 minutes up. On the board, still figuring out who's going to the box for Kutztown. And it's going to be Braden Jansen to the sin bin for Kutztown. Face off to the left of the Kutztown tendy. It gets just by the stick of Farazi and out of the zone, so Farmingdale must touch up and reset at neutral ice. Luke Farazi. Go all the way down behind his goaltender Pavone. And tries to dangle, but a good step up from Liam O'Neill. And Farmingdale, again, struggling to make those passes in the neutral zone to spring them into the offensive zone. Just by sheer force, they'll get it in. And good work there from LaFata to the front of the net, rejected and fired all the way down by Kutztown. Pavone, area pass, picked up by Paratori, who sends in, he chases after it. Farmingdale, though, not very organized. Great keeping, no, says the linesman. Luke Ferrazzi was at the blue line when he leaped into the air to keep that puck in, gloved it down, but they said it was not. Well, I have a better reason why the whistle blew. Whether or not it was out of the zone or not does not matter. Delayed penalty against Farmingdale was called. With a minute and 2 seconds left on the Farmingdale power play, it will turn to a 4-on-4. So the Farmingdale power play 0 for 1 to start the game. As we'll skate four aside for about the next minute or so, as Paratori sits for 2 minutes. Deflected up ice by Castellano. Kutztown regrouping their own end. It's Tenjuco trying to escape the aggressive forecheck of Castellano. And then Donnie Pace got a touch. Bauer finding Tenjuco. He'll go cross ice with it. Entering the zone here is Isak. Isak sending it down low, hoping to get it to Tenjuco, pinching in. To the line, right back down the wall, fanned on turnover. Isak out in front, one-time shot blocked. Big block out in front by the Rams, as it looked like it could have been a combination of Donnie Pace getting in the way of it. Here's Matthew Dan, and Dan gets knocked down, delayed offsides, wide open near side, in comes Pace. Pace electing not to charge at the goal. They're now shorthanded, are Farmingdale, for the next 25 seconds or so. Into the far corner, up the wall, and now a penalty against Farmingdale. They'll touch up. Tripping call upcoming, and it's going to go against Jaden Grillo, the North Belmore native. And it's a two-man advantage for Kutztown. It's a brief one of just 16 seconds before Paratori comes back out onto the ice. But a critical face-off coming up. Bauer to take it for Kutztown. It's a 50-50 draw. And a great play by Michael Malandruclo to hop in there and seize control. He can't clear, though. Ritz finds Malenkoff. Shot blocked. There's Paratori, or pardon me, Paratori went for the change, getting in with Tom 40 from behind. Now another penalty, this one against Kutztown, as the penalty box parade continues here to start this game. Very stop and go. We'll play 4-on-4 once more. Minute and 32 seconds. As the teams continue to trade penalties. No score yet, 7:13 left in the first period. Throw a couple more seconds on. It'll be a 4-on-4 for a minute 32, and then an abbreviated Farmingdale power play. Turnover behind the net. However, unable to get it to the front of it was Tom 40. Tom 40, the Sayville native. There's a shot from the blue line, sticked away by Chuchi. Came off the stick of Kevin Manzi. Big collision down low. It's going to be a penalty on Farmingdale, as the discipline really for both teams, especially Farmingdale early on, has to come into question. Not in full agreement with the call was Tom Forty. Either way, he skates off to join his teammate Grillo in the box. And so it will be a power play. I believe a 4-on-3. Yeah, 4-on-3 for 1 minute and 3 seconds. As I'm quickly losing track of what teams are on the power play. Obviously both teams 0-4 on the power play tonight. Face off to the right of Pavone. Eventually kicks around for Farmingdale. It's not out of the zone. Kept alive. Walking Carpenter lets it go, and a save made. Pavone goes high into the sky, drops down without hitting any beams. On back to the ice. 2-on-2 battle. 42 more seconds of 4-on-3 hockey. Rips the one-timer just wide. Came off the stick of Anello. 30 more seconds of 4-on-3 for Kutztown. Nice move on the left wing side. Shot denied by Pavone, who hugged the post. Back on it, Liam O'Neill. Try to go out in front, great block. O'Neill. Carpenter. Cross ice. O'Neill. Wrist shot, traffic deflection, save made. Pavone. O'Neill. In behind. Teams are back at 4 aside. Another shot blocked down in front and flipped up ice, hoping for DeAndrea. But a great block out in front from Farmingdale. Now going for the change. D'Alessandro, number 91. That one hit a skate of a Kutztown player, so no icing. Farmingdale are shorthanded once more, 5-on-4. Again, struggling to keep up here. Power play Kutztown for 13 more seconds here. Centering feed blocked. Along the near wall, gathered back in by Slapwinski. Back around the far side, shot never got through. Slapwinski, wrister deflected just wide, came off the stick of Bauer. And now Farmingdale lets it go quickly the other way. Home run pass for DeAndrea, broken up. A good read that time by D'Alessio. Farmingdale have survived the nonstop penalties as the game remains scoreless. Out in front, recollected, Paratoria rip, and a glove save made by Chuchi. Paratoria neutral ice. Deflected off the stick of Lavoie. No icing. However, Kutztown quick to break out, tipped right back in by Isak. Farmingdale looks to go right back the other way. Lavoie trying to dance around Bauer. Bauer chips in. Manzi to get it. Manzi to DeAndrea. DeAndrea hoping to get it all the way across to LaFata. Hopped over his stick. Now Kutztown can break in the other way. McGinty, shot denied by Pavone. Riberich ahead. Puck deflected. Here's Lena. Lena just trying to flip it up ice. Got knocked down. Kutztown recollect. Cross ice feed settled in here by Ritz. Ritz will flip one ahead where it's chipped in further by McGinty. However, Farmingdale regained control. Turned over though in the neutral zone. Back checking Manzi gets back on it. And a big hit right out in front of me. Dished out by Farmingdale. I believe this again, D'Alessandro. Lena flips it up ice, tipped in by Manzi. Ferrazzi. Around to the opposite side, Riberich. Going to work in the far corner. 2:40 left, first period, no score, Farmingdale and Kutztown. Kutztown just outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. About a 4-hour bus ride in. So I had a brief conversation before the game with Kutztown play-by-play, Nick Garofalo. Goes all the way down. That'll be a penalty on Kutztown, delayed call. So clearly just too much 5-on-5 hockey to be had between these two teams. Went way too long without a penalty taken. So why not? Kutztown this time the guilty party. Another power play for Farmingdale. And in the back of my head I'm wondering, well, how long till Farmingdale takes a penalty at this point? This is how it's been going. It's D'Alessandro to the box. And a chance for a sloppy first period, I'd say, by Farmingdale standards, to get on the right track with 2 minutes left in the first period. With a goal here scored on the power play. See if they can make it happen. Down Paratori. Ferrazzi's pass read beautifully, intercepted and cleared, and trying to get going short-handed, but shielded off was Braden Jansen. Rams recollect. Ferrazzi. Touch pass ahead. Good one. Finds Lavoie. Lavoie enters the zone. Surrounded by Tanjuco. Rimmed around by the Rams. DeAndrea dropping for Ferrazzi, who walks. Ferrazzi, great feed, shot, denied by Chuchi. Oh, what a pass. Worth another look here. You're going to see Ferrazzi. That puck just on a string across. Big opportunity for Farmingdale to break this game open. Can't connect. They try to gain control off the ensuing face-off, and the puck just dribbles out of the zone. Moved ahead by Castellano. Farmingdale finally established the zone. They're onside. Riberich fires around. Pace activates on the near wall. However, can't chip it by the defender, who skates it to center. And it's the captain, Slotwinski, toward the goal. Slotwinski aggressive on the forecheck. However, two Kutztown Bears were caught down low. 3-on-2 the other way for Farmingdale in the last minute of regulation, the last minute of the first period. Backhander toward the goal, denied. That time was Wadika taking the shot. To the blue line, Lena Rister hoping for a deflection. He got one, but it didn't go toward the goal. Collected and cleared by Kutztown. 30 seconds to go in the period, 20 seconds to go in the power play. And Farmingdale can't enter the zone. Short-ended opportunity for Carpenter. Carpenter's pass across. Great back-checking play, and covering up is Pavone. It was Carpenter who tried to send it across. And a great job by, that's Lena, who got back on defense. .20 seconds left in the first period. No score between the Rams and Golden Bears. Here's DeAndrea trying to change that, but offsides is the call. Lavoie was about a half step early on the break-in as DeAndrea had him deke at the line, forcing the icing to be called. Pardon me, the offsides. So 7.9 on the clock. LaFada to take the draw for Farmingdale. Bauer for Kutztown. As we got Lil Wayne playing throughout the building. A little 6-foot, 7-foot. Guilty as charged. I said the forbidden numbers. Official is talking to the timekeepers about something, perhaps the amount of time remaining. Yes, so we're going to change it. 3 seconds are added. 10 remain now in the first period, and that'll help Farmingdale potentially. nearest to the offensive zone. Could help Kutztown if they quickly break out. They do not. And that's how we conclude the first 20. No score just yet between Farmingdale and Kutztown. What they lacked in scoring, they made up for in penalties as both teams made frequent trips to the penalty box. However, the PK units for either side remain perfect, as well as the two goaltenders. Chuchi and Pavone both made excellent saves in that first period as we have a scoreless tie into the first intermission. You're listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of ACHA M3 Farmingdale State Ram Hockey. Ryan Brannigan and Wally Mitchell will return for the second period in just a moment. Give it 10 minutes or so. Let the Zambonis do their thing. So grab a coffee, a donut, or what have you, a salad if you're on a diet. Something of the sort. And I'll see you in about 10. How about that?
First period go for you. If you're busy, it's fine. Sorry. Guys, your screen is under the wrong unit. You have to click kind of screen instant. The rocker. Shots are net or
Welcome back to Iceworks in Syosset. We're set for the second period between Kutztown and Farmingdale. No score in that first period. Oh, dangerous play out in front. Pavone was alert and shut it down. He was excellent in that first period. Perfect 10 for 10 on his 10 shots faced. On the other end of the ice, obviously perfect as well, was Chuchi, as there is the maybe 11th, maybe 12th save of the night for Luke Pavone. Chuchi made all 6 saves on the 6 shots he faced in that first period. 7 penalties were taken between both teams in that first frame. Farmingdale penalty kill 4 for 4. Kutztown 3 for 3. Start the game. Quick breakout pass. Chance here. Farmingdale. The shot just wide. Off the stick of Castellano. Back the other way. Kutztown. It's Canestra. Shot save made Pavone, and he stumbles down in his crease. Farmingdale. Cross ice pass. Hits the boards. Found its way to Riberich, who fires in. Rolls around for the other Castellano playing defense. He and his brother out there tonight. That'll be Nice play from Grillo, breaking out. Another rip from Castellano is high. Or pardon me, D'Alessandro. My apologies. D'Alessandro, not Castellano. My apologies. It comes on to Pavone, who steers it into the far corner. DeAndrea is in. DeAndrea! Save made by Chuchi, and the net gets knocked off. Great rush up the ice from Chris DeAndrea. First big chance of the second period. And great save made by Chuchi. That shot just goes over the net. Board battle, Farmingdale, dig it free. Grillo. Down low, getting tangled up. Along the near wall was Lafata. Grillo keeps in once more. Down the wall, Lavoie. Gets crunched up against the end wall. And Kutztown get on the puck. They can't clear just yet. Good keep there by Lafata. He finds Lavoie. Wrist shot, glove save made Chuchi. Noah Lavoie had time and space to tee up that shot. Try to beat Chuchi short side, and the glove came in to make the save. So face off to the left of the Golden Bear netminder, won cleanly by Watica. Shot from Paratori never got through. Thrown back toward the net wide by Donnie Pace. Farmingdale dig it free. Castellano. Joey Castellano couldn't finesse one through. Pushed back toward the front of the net. Deflects all the way out for Paratori to recollect in neutral ice. Pace to Manzi. Manzi, good touch pass. That shot just missed. Came off the stick of Pace. And a great little play designed there from Farmingdale with the touch pass. Pace below the goal line. Farmingdale already in the second period looked much better than they did in the first. Paratori, wrister. A lot of traffic out in front, never got through. Thrown back on toward the net, where it's sealed off and covered by Chuchi. Not a bad play from Tyler Watica, the Bethpage native. Just fling it out toward the front of the net. Chuchi Alert made the stop. 16:33 left here. Second period. Still no score between Kutztown and Farmingdale. Good keep in by D'Alessandro. Down the wall. And Kutztown, this will be an icing. No change here for the Golden Bears. Face off to the left of Chuchi. Won by Farmingdale. Shot from Paul, redirected wide. Along to the near side, pinching in D'Alessandro. Back around to the far side. On the forecheck, Tom 40. Bank back to the blue line. One-time shot, D'Alessandro. Fanned on it, collected by Paul. Wrist shot, save made by Chuchi. Back to D'Alessandro. Shot never got through. Bunch of bodies out in front got in the way of it. Kutztown trying to break out. However, good back check from D'Alessandro. Gets in the way of it. Now right in front of the Kutztown bench they wanted a call. They won't get one. They're off sides. Puck rolls just by the stick of number 91, D'Alessandro. Make the head flip right back into the his own end by Leon. Try to get one to Isak. Doesn't connect. Here come Farmingdale. A nice little move by the other D'Alessandro. Bro, backhanded out in front. Never got through. Getting in the way of it was Malenkov. Here is Malandrukalo. Backhands one wide. Chases his rebound down behind the goal line. Popped out to the other side, hustling after it. Riberich. He keeps it alive in the zone for the moment. Kutztown will have to regroup on their exit strategy. It's Aiden Isak. Gets through a few defenders. What a move by Isak. 2-on-2 now over the blue for Isak. On his backhand, circling away from trouble. Has it on the far circle. Wrist shot save made Pavone. With a player out in front and another stab at it. Shut down by Pavone. No goal. It was Gavin Malenkov out in front. For Kutztown. And the goaltending duel continues. 14:21 left here in the second. Face off to the right of Pavone. Eventually controlled by Farmingdale, however, turned over right back in front. Chance save made again. Malenkov with the good look right out in front of Pavone, who was perfectly positioned to make the save. Round it goes by the stick of Lavoie and Kutztown on the breakout. Good lead pass deflected in. Came off the stick of Chase Canestra. Farmingdale attempting to break out, try to tap it off the boards. Instead, they don't get it out. Right back in. Kutztown, that pass broken up. Good play by Manzi. Farmingdale, another breakout attempt. Hit a body. And loose puck picked up Lavoie. 2-on-1 developing. No Lavoie. Across. No shot came from DeAndrea. And Kutztown content just to fire it all the way down and out of the zone. With 13:19 left here in the second period. Great look on that last play. 2-on-1. Lavoie and DeAndrea. Lavoie, who had the shot available to him, decided to try to play it across to DeAndrea. To his credit, the pass got there, but was not in prime shooting position for DeAndrea to pull the trigger. Following the icing, face off to the left of Tucci, Zach Tucci. Moved on, backhand shot, never got through off the stick of Watka. Lena, down the wall, good passing. Here's Watka once more. Lena, nobody home for Farmingdale as he tried to send it down the far wall on the left wing side. Now D'Alessandro lays a hit on to Carpenter, who moved in. Farmingdale escort the puck out over the leaping D'Alessandro and back in deep. 91's got it. He sends it ahead. Past the stick of Donnie Pace. And here come Kutztown, only for the moment. Good step up by D'Alessandro, but that's offsides. Just offsides. Liam O'Neill was anxious to try to get toward Pavone following the neutral zone turnover. So we'll go back to the dot where the pass originated, just outside the Golden Bears zone. Lafata to take the draw, flanked by Lavoie and DeAndrea. Flipped ahead, batted. A Farmingdale defender took a spill, was Grillo. Crisis averted. Lavoie deflecting ahead, now Lafata. Down the right wing side, Lafata. Great job by DeAndrea to pin his body against the wall to create the turnover down behind the goaltender, Chuchi. LaFata out in front, fanned on by DeAndrea. Lavoie to the point. Malandrucolo, quick work to get it across to Grillo. His shot blocked. Grillo keeps it alive. LaFata and Grillo switching places. Kutztown, move it over to the other side. There's DeAndrea covering for the pinching defender. Down the wall to Lavoie. Lavoie joined now by LaFata. The battle continues. Kutztown do gain control, however, and send it all the way down. It'll be wide to the left of netminder Pavone, and an icing on Kutztown. They cannot make a change. Yeah, something Nick, the play-by-play for Kutztown, and I were discussing before the game. The pads. Netminder Zach Chuchi, reminiscent of that of UC Saros of the Nashville Predators. Those solid yellow pads. I do like them. Gold, if you will. Shot from Paratori. Looking for a deflection. Went all the way through. D'Alessandro backhanding one down low. Forward D'Alessandro. Paratori with Riberich charging to the net. Lets one go. It's blocked. Excellent block getting in the way of it. Anello. Or pardon me, that was Carter Ritz. The well-positioned defenseman got in the way of the shot. Face off to the right of Chuchi. Won cleanly by Farmingdale. Low shot from Lena. Blocked. Another shot. Deflects up and over the net and hits the netting. Big opportunity in front. Luke Ferrazzi got to the loose puck. Deflected high and wide over the net. They'll do it again to the right of Chuchi. Another clean win for Farmingdale. D'Alessandro shot wide. Forward D'Alessandro wearing 29. Kutztown gain control, look to break out. No icing as Lena had a play on it. Moved up the near wall. Squirts out to the center ice. Shot never got through. A good position block there for Lena. Quick breakout, 2-on-1 developing. D'Alessandro, that shot scores! The game's first goal scored by Luke Ferrazzi. 1-0 Farmingdale. Two-on-one off a turnover. Sells the pass and rips it past Chuchi. Just been no easy task. Gives a wave to the friends and family there along the... Love to see that. And so Farmingdale open the scoring and lead 1-0. And face-off coming to the right. Ferrazzi's 6th of the season, as giving the Rams the lead. Paratori can't keep that puck in. So offsides as we climb just past 5 minutes gone by, second period. Farmingdale 1, Kutztown 0. Let's see if we got some assists on the goal, if any. We do. It's Lena who picks up the assist on the goal. Scored by Ferrazzi. Paratori keeping it along the near side. Bouncing puck behind the net. Settled down by the Rams. Manzi. Down the wall. Knocked off the stick of Tom Forty. Still held in by Manzi, but collected and cleared by Aiden Isak. Paratori trying to go right back in for the Rams. He does along that left wing side. Centers one. Nobody home. Broken up. Good play made by Ritz. Ritz like the Crackers, though it's not spelled that way. Back to stop it is Chuchi. Will his confidence be shaken or not? We have a whistle Kutztown had the puck when the whistle blew, but they're pointing in the direction of the Farmingdale zone. We had 7 penalties in the first period, none so far here in the second. We're over halfway through. No penalty there. Pace. Blind pass intercepted. Good stick, though, from Castellano. Wadika trying to help out on the support. He couldn't. Move back the other way here by Canestra. Canestra's got it in the far corner. Try to center one. It's broken up. Another centering bid never went through. Now on for Pace. Cross ice to Wadika, who sends in. Castellano chasing it down. Wadika around the net he goes. Tyler Wadika broken up and ultimately cleared out of the zone. Speeding ahead with it is Griffin Carpenter. He takes a spill and Farmingdale try to break out. Goes hard into the boards. A pass though. Errant pass. Hit a skate. Let's get the skate there of Malandrucolo and deflected right back onto Pavone, who has been locked in from the very puck drop. Excellent between the pipes this far for Farmingdale. Face off to his left. A struggle to gain possession. Farmingdale eventually do. Flip to the line, held in. Good keep in that time by Asher Putt. Turned over down low. Chance here for O'Neill. One of the more prominent Golden Bears to this point in the game. At the line, Ritz. Wrist shot, never got through. Knocked down in front by Farmingdale. And Lena was the one to do so. He's got it here in the far corner. Backhands one for Lavoie. Lavoie turned it over and unable to hold in at the blue line was Ritz. Ritz with a streaking DeAndrea hunting him down, able to play it away from him. Putt. Pass nearly intercepted. He took a big hit as well. Dished out by Noah Lavoie. Kutztown nevertheless gained control. Fire it all the way down, no icing as it touched a Farmingdale defender on its way down. Gonna make a little move in the corner was Colin Mendham. To the blue line, a shot. Hit a body in front, never got through. Mendham once more along the near side. He'll take a check. Dished out by DeAndrea. Puck loose, put toward the slot, and intercepted by Lavoie. He'll carry out. 3-on-2 over the blue for Farmingdale. Trying to hit the streaking ram to the net, LaFata. He could not. DeAndrea in the corner, 3-on-2 battle. Now a 2-on-2 battle as Lavoie looks to get a free puck. He gets one, plays it down low. On the backhand, swept across the net and wide by LaFata. Lavoie to Paratori, looking for a lane. He finds one, never saw the puck, Chuchi, and it went over the net, over his right shoulder. Backhanded ahead by Putt. Not out of the zone, DeAndrea. Great shift by this line in Farmingdale. They'll keep it alive still. Riberich from the bench. Ripping the shot and scoring! What a goal! What a shift! 2-0 Rams off the stick of Luke LaFata. Great keeping off the bench, Riberich, and he makes the pass, and then selling the pass, and a water bottle popper from Luke LaFata. The East Islip native played in the SCHSHL, getting it done for Farmingdale. They're up 2-0. The Suffolk County High School Hockey League, for those of you that don't know. His brother currently on East Islip. And for Luke, his 5th of the year. 14th point. Give Farmingdale the 2-goal edge. Let's get that up on the board. Quick save made off the puck drop in the O zone by Chuchi. Now, I don't believe his confidence has been shaken. I think that's just a hell of a shot by LaFada. Paratori will wrap it around. They try to quickly play it out in front, but good stick check prevented Ferrazzi from getting to that puck. Pavone, turnover, and Ferrazzi with a stick lift and takeaway, preventing a potential grade A chance for Kutztown. And Riberich, he gets unloaded on by Josh Bauer. But Kutztown can't take advantage. They ice it instead. And so 5:26 left here in the second period. It's been a fruitful one for Farmingdale, also one in which they have remained out of the box. To Kutztown credit, they also have not sent a player to the sin bin so far here in the second. Jake Paul. 2-on-2 battle near side corner, becoming a 3-on-2 battle. Paul, nonetheless, able to create space. Top 40, the shot save, rebound, back to the blue line over the net, bounced nearly right back out in front and ushered out of the zone. It'll bank toward the goal and off the side of the net and become an icing, just barely, on Kutztown. Farmingdale really have found their stride here in the second. 2 goals to show. And dominating the time in the offensive zone. Tom Forty once again to take the draw, flanked by Paul. And to his left, DeSaro. Here's Tom Forty. To the blue line, Lena. D'Alessandro. Trying to go back across. Out in front, Paul with a golden opportunity. Sent it wide, maybe. Maybe goaltender Chuchu got a piece of it. Back checking DeSaro, making a big hit, and now Paul trying to get to it, overskated, and the Rams are offside. As indicated by our linesman, Mr. Cummings. 4:33 left here in this second period. 2-0, Farmingdale leading Kutztown. So you're listening to Farmingdale State Rams hockey on LI Sports Network, ACHA M3. Kutztown go D to D with Jacob D'Alessio playing it across, turnover. However, Farmingdale give it back up. Good pinch from Lena. He'll try it again and eventually just wheeled out of the zone by Gavin Molikoff. Blind pass from Pace never found its way to Wadika. And instead, it's spun free by the Golden Bears. Carpenter trying to go across to Mollenkoff. Those two rush up the ice. Farmingdale, though, execute a rather clean breakout. However, rolls off the stick of Wadika at center. D'Alessandro up the near wall by the stick of Wadika to the line where it's held in for the moment, absorbing a hit to do so, and still managing to keep the puck in the zone for the moment is D'Alessio. Out in front, what a save, Pavone, rebound, they score! Oh, Luke Pavone did all he could. Made a phenomenal first save. The net was off its moorings, but much like we see in the NHL, doesn't matter as the offensive zone opportunity persisted. It's going to be a great pass across here from Chase Canestra. What a save, Pavone. But following up the play, that's what you want to do, was Jacob D'Alessio. He had those fantastic keep-ins just prior to that. And he gets Kutztown on the board with triple threes remaining in the second period. 1-goal game once more. And really, the first good looks of the period for Kutztown, they cash in on. The goal for D'Alessio. Trying to get you caught up on that. I think it might be his first. Meanwhile, here's Lavoie. Nice move. Takes the shot. Short side upstairs. He had room. He just missed. To the line. Another save there by Chuchi with the left pad. Move to the line, Paratori, D to D for Manzi. Manzi gets around one. Stopped for the moment. Fires one across, delayed penalty, and Farmingdale will go to the box. Not to the box. Did enough of that in the first. No, they're going to go to the power play here. It'll be their 4th power play opportunity of the game. A hooking penalty will be assessed to Braden Jansen. Rams to the power play. First of the second period, 4th of the game. They win the opening draw. It's a big, very important start. DeAndrea cross to Paratori, a bouncing puck. He'll settle it down. Before going down the wall to Lavoie. Lavoie trying to force a pass out in front, hit a stick. Squirts to the other side, one-time shot! Getting a piece was Chuchi. My goodness, what a save. Paratori working around the horn. Playing catch with it, DeAndrea and Ferrazzi. Now DeAndrea, top of the key with a rip and a shot. Save made by Chuchi. A whistle stops play. I have a feeling it's because the net is off its moorings. It is. So we'll drop the puck to the left of Chuchi. Farmingdale win it back. Paratori across. Ferrazzi looking for a tip. It's somewhere in the mess of bodies in front. Chipped out to Paratori. Paratori circling away from the forechecking Dan. Now Lavoie steps around one. Lavoie, what a pass! Save made! Chuchi on a great setup from No Lavoie. Take another look at this one. So looking for goal number 1 on the power play tonight, Farmingdale. This is how you get goal number 1. Getting it right in Luke Lafada's wheelhouse, and an excellent save by Chuchi. So we'll drop the puck to the right of the aforementioned Kutztown goaltender, Riberich. On the forecheck here. Puck in the far corner. Pace to Lena, second unit out. Pace walks, fires, blocked, never got through. Quickly moved to Watica. It's Castellano back to Watica. Castellano, now Lena catches it on his skate, now to his stick. Lena across into the middle, not a good position though to shoot for Castellano. Lena, nice pass. Trying to go cross-ice with the feed. A streaking Watica to the net, never got to him. Lena to Watica. Watica, wrist shot. All the way through, held in by Pace at the far blue. Pace trying to get around one, he did, but lost control of the puck. And it's sent out the other way by Kutztown. And they are back to 5-on-5. Perfect 4-for-4 tonight on the penalty killer, Kutztown. As are Farmingdale. All 3 goals in the game scored 5-on-5. Here's a chance to tie the game for Kutztown. It's Isak. Rolls around for Slutwinski. Toward the net, blocked. Here's Isak. 12 seconds to go in the frame. Out in front and broken up. And swatted at 6 seconds and 5. It's a 2-on-0. And the shot. Save, rebound. Oh, and would it go? You have got to be kidding me! Zach Chuchi keeps it a 1-goal game in the dying moments of the second. Holy guacamole! A 2-on-0, Castellano. He's gonna drop the pass. Oh my! Nearly 3-1 Rams. However, we go into the second intermission. 2-1. Right here on LA Sports Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ryan Brannigan, Wally Mitchell, our cameraman. We'll be back for period number 3 in about 10 minutes. So again, head off to the bathrooms, do your thing back at home. We'll be here waiting for you on the other side, right here and only on LI Sports Network.
Now the game's picking up, baby. I love it. I love for both teams, you know? That 2-0 was crazy. Oh, man. I'm surprised they counted that goal for Kutztown because the net was dislodged. So they let that go sometimes, you know? It makes sense. I was talking about... There's that overtime goal. Yeah. They do let that count. It makes sense, you know? It makes sense why you let that count.
Welcome back here to Iceworks in Syosset. You're listening to Farmingdale State College. ACHA M3 hockey here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Wally Mitchell on the cam. 2-1 heading into the third. Nearly was 3-1 in the dying moments of the period. A 2-on-0 in which they went for the pass, the drop pass, and an incredible save made by Chuchi. Both goaltenders. Chuchi for Kutztown and Pavone for Farmingdale have been exceptional here tonight. Score 2-1. Indicator of that. Shots on goal. Farmingdale now leading Kutztown 18-16 as the second period is set to begin. Much better second period for Farmingdale as they really dominated the zone time in the period. They obviously flipped the shots on goal. They trailed 10-6 heading into the second. They lead it 2-1 as we're underway in the final period of regulation time. Farmingdale enter the zone, though they send the puck in. Ushered quickly back out. Tapped ahead there that time by Farazi. Turned over and come Kutztown and Josh Bauer. He'll rim it around to be picked up on the other side by Aiden Isak. Back on a cross, it's the goal scorer D'Alessio. Leone. Open man is Isak. He let one rip. It deflected up high off of Pavone and into the netting. Did an excellent job of sealing off the short side shot taken by Aiden Isak. Quick whistle. Puck deflected out of play off the faceoff. (19-13). Remain here. Tapped ahead. Kutztown trying to go the other way. The good intercept by Malandrukalo. Flipped one ahead over the stick of Riberich. Great keeping by Farazi, showing off the hand-eye. Farazi takes over along the near with Malandrukalo. He was taken off to the wall, and Farazi put it where he just was, more toward the middle of the ice. Riberich knocks down the puck. He'll high flip into the zone, and it hits the netting and exits the arena. Stops the clock with 18:30 left here in the third period.
Wally, is there anything that we could do about the buffering or no?
Lavoie had it poked from him. Deflected up into the air. Going down and making a play on it was Carpenter. He looked for a call. He won't get one. Face-off one in the defensive end by Kutztown. Banked along the near wall for Canestra. Knocked down at center by the Rams and DeAndrea, who gets shoved down to the ice by Canestra. Another big collision in the near corner. Frees the puck up. Charging to the net, LaFada. Puck just slipped wide. And now another hit, that time by Lavoie. behind the net. Draws some attention. It'll draw a crowd. Penalties will come. Now Lavoie throws his hands in the air. It wasn't me. Lavoie to the box. Will he be joined by a member of Kutztown? I assume so. But we'll see. Right now it's just Lavoie going into the sin bin. And now he will be joined indeed. Trying to get the number there. It will be Carter Ritz. Kutztown breakout. We'll skate 4 aside for the next 2 minutes. Now it's minute and 39. Shot toward Pavone. Never got through to him. And a nice play along the far wall. Chipped ahead. Odd man rush coming. 2-on-1. Manzi drops it. Wadika try to go across, and a diving play made by the captain of Kutztown, Bailey Slotwinski. What a defensive effort as he broke up the cross-ice pass. Apologize for any connection issues. As you see it there. What a play made by Slotwinski. As along the near side was Donnie Pace, waiting for that pass to get through to him. Shot right on goal. Another save made by Chuchi. For just over 3 minutes gone by in the third period. Lena looking for a tip, went on goal, and a pad save made by Chuchi, who was in the butterfly. Lena has it nearly taken away in a diving or outstretched stick. Defensively, nice play there made by Paratori. In comes Tom Forty, a wrister. Missed the net wide. Lena stops it along the near wall. Quick breakout pass, one-on-one developing. Isak got around, slid to the ice, took out Pavone. Pavone, hands in the air. He didn't like it. He's going to take the helmet off, Luke Pavone. Down on the ice. Barreling on in was Isak. Aiden Isak, and might have been taken down by the defender, and I think that's exactly what happened and why D'Alessandro was in the Farmingdale box. So 4-on-3 for Kutztown for 31 seconds. So we had a relatively penalty-free second period, just the one penalty assessed to Kutztown. Farmingdale dangerous on that power play look, did not score on it. And now already 3 penalties here in the third, much reminiscent of the 7 penalty first. And Farmingdale, the 1-goal lead, was a 2-goal lead. That's when Jacob D'Alessio, following a fantastic save by Pavone, cleaned up in front. More conversation taking place between the officials right in front of the penalty box. Kutztown will take on Fordham following this game. And Farmingdale, Penn State looms large on the schedule. Again, 9-4 Farmingdale, 4-7 Kutztown, and a long discussion taking place in front of the Farmingdale penalty box. We'll step aside. You're listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of Farmingdale State College Hockey. Oh, trying to sort this out. Welcome back here, LA Sports Network's coverage of Farmingdale State hockey. The prior penalties were Lavoie rough and Ritza rough. Waiting for the update from my man in the penalty box for, there's a broken stick out there, a Kutztown broken stick. Tough break for them. They have the man advantage here. And it is a 4-on-3. It continues. One-timer. Fire, it's a shot, a nice save made. Pavone on Isak. Says there's 18 seconds left on the Lavoie minor, as well as 18 seconds left on the coincidental roughing minor for Ritz. 4-on-3 continues. For that much more time for Kutztown. All-important face-off controlled by Farmingdale. Manzi flips it all the way down. There to stop it was Chuchio. Chuchi. I didn't know there. Not sure why. Kutztown in over the line. Nice strong move there from Chase Canestra. Around the net he goes, and another save made Pavone. And all the way out and down it goes. Now just a 5-on-4 power play for Kutztown remains. It says 0. There's 1:10 on it. I'll try to get that up there for you guys and call the game. That's what I do. Shot. That a score! Tie game. Kutztown finally break through on the power play. Going to be a nice pass from below the goal line out in front, and Antonio Anello buries it. Ties the game at 2. You play with fire when you take that many penalties. Farmingdale learning the hard way. We're back all even at 5-on-5. No, we're not, because there's a major penalty assessed to D'Alessandro that's still up on the board. There must have been so many penalties against Farmingdale that they didn't have enough room on the scoreboard for them. So put some time back on there. How much time is there? So much time. 5-minute major and then 1:01 left, so that they were just stacking them up, the penalties, that is. They're just being conservative. Put a 5 up on there. And preserving a 1-goal lead, I think when you look it up and see what not to do, it is take a major penalty, let alone have multiple ones, and is what Farmingdale has done. Now they got rid of the 5-minute major. It's off the board. Maybe it wasn't even supposed to be on there in the first place. I'm just talking about what I see on the scoreboard. I don't have any other true insights. I do got my man behind the scoring board glass giving me a 5-minute major unsportsmanlike conduct for number 91. It's a D'Alessandro. Oh boy. He's still in the box. The unsportsmanlike conduct major penalty. 1:01 is left still on the board. Although a 5-minute major never comes off the boards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm confused. Stick with what we know. That's that it is 2-2 with 5:19 left. Pardon, 15:19 left here in the third period. A third period that has been the equivalent of being stuck in the mud in terms of flow. There's been none of it. Very much like the first, perhaps even worse, with the major penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct. Farmingdale still shorthanded. It says for another minute and 1 second. So that's what I'm going to put on. That's what we're going to roll with. Major opportunity here for Kutztown to potentially take a lead. Shot off the post. Wouldn't go. Taken by Canestra. Keeping it alive, Bauer for the moment. Paratori gets to it, and he sends it out. Pardon me, that is Lena. Lena gets to it and sends it all the way out. Chuchi stops it for Ritz. 31 seconds left on the, I guess, plethora of penalties assessed to D'Alessandro. Ritz cross-eyed feet. Great step up by the Rams. And matter of fact, 91 is out on the ice, and the only player left in the box is DeSaro. All right. Moving in is Melankoff. His pass gets all the way through. And would you look at that, we're back to 5-on-5. Pass to the front of the net. Cut off, and no way. As soon as I say it. The Farmingdale bench is livid. Livid. As Hansen makes another call. Everyone's upset. That's DeSaro in the bench. He can't believe it. And Farmingdale really got to watch themselves as they're not putting down the shovel. They continue to dig. We have another penalty upcoming here. I thought we did. I mean, at the scores table's Hansen. My goodness. Farmingdale, I've lost track. I think they're up to 9 penalties. So too many men is the call against Farmingdale. And they feel like they absolutely, again, with the player coming out of the box and then back on the ice and then the usual coordinated maneuver of that is what they're getting called for. And that is what is creating the displeased feelings being expressed by the Farmingdale bench. I'm putting it a bit lightly. Can't hear what they're saying from over here. I can only imagine. Too many men to call. Fans urging the game to continue. I hear you. It's Jake Paul. Looks like he's going to serve the too many men penalty. Another power play Kutztown as this game has come to a screeching halt yet again. DeSaro and linesman Cummings are engaged in conversation as it looks like Paul's set to go into the box. They're still yapping. Another penalty. 3:23 left for DeSaro's penalty. What is going on? Five on three for Kutztown, an extended one. They score! Right off the draw, wasting no time. It's 3-2 Kutztown. Paul, who just went into the box, out of the box. Here it is again, right off the face-off. They go D to D. Here's the shot coming. Taken by Mollenkopf. It's going to find its way through past Pavone and yeah. 3-2 Kutztown. Power plays are still up on the board as we go back to the scorers table. My goodness. Here's the most recent goal scorer, Griffin Carpenter. Down the wall. Still on a power play, Kutztown. They're 10th, 11th? I don't know. It's a lot. O'Neal going to work on Lena. Behind the goal, Lena gets his stick. It's still a one-goal game. It's just 3-2. Farmingdale led it 2-0 in the second. Wraparound try, stopped by Pavone, and a quick whistle for the net coming off its moorings. (3-2) Kutztown. Net back in its place. 2 minutes and 43 seconds is what's on the scoreboard remaining in the DeSaro penalty. I guess that's the major. That's why he's remained in the box throughout. Held in, shot, deflects just wide. Off a friendly fire. That was Jaden Grillo's stick that ultimately had the puck change direction at the last moment. Can Farmingdale persevere? Here is Grillo. Left the puck behind him. Now Kutztown. Chance for an odd man rush going the other way. Mollenkopf dropping it for Isak. Calling for it, receiving is Bauer. Bauer up top. Takes the shot, blocked by DeAndrea. Regathered in by Ritz. Goes down and it's sent all the way out. Stopped by Kutztown netminder Chuchi. D-to-D, it's Ritz. Aggressive on the penalty kill, Lavoie. Forces the turnover. Noah Lavoie, nice move. Lavoie steps around two, fans on the shot. Looking, gloved it down, Lavoie nearly had a good look in front, short-handed again. Just couldn't pull the trigger. Isak. Dumps in, he'll chase it down. He'll be the first on it. DeAndrea right behind him. Checks him into the boards. Manzi now with it. Manzi in the far corner. Is going to eat it for now. A minute, 22 seconds remaining on the penalty. And then, and only then, will we be 5 aside. I might have just jinxed it. Pass toward the front of the net. Intercepted. Good play by DeAndrea. Now 2-on-1 short-handed developing. Lavoie and DeAndrea. Lavoie holds up. Tries to get it to DeAndrea. And a good stick from Ritz. Broke it up. DeAndrea once more. Now Ritz will just flip it to his defensive partner, Bauer. Under a minute. Now on the 5-on-4 power play for Kutztown. Beneath the goal line goes Leone. Back up top, settled down by Anello. Shot blocked. Trying to hunt it down now for Ozzy. He's got a step. Ferrazzi will get there. Ferrazzi shot denied by Chuchi. Riberich. And now a penalty, and this one will be on Kutztown. With 30 seconds left on the DeSaro Major, I believe Major. And I think he's serving it. I don't believe, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think he was the guilty party there, but maybe he was. Number 91, by the way, Mike D'Alessandro. So 4-on-4 for 30. And then Farmingdale, it's a slashing call on Carpenter. Farmingdale will go to a power play. 4-on-4 starting right now. Turnover. 2-on-1. Across. Ferrazzi. Oh, he scores! Luke Ferrazzi ties it at 3. Bar down. A great feed from LaFata. Off the turnover. 2-on-1. LaFata to Ferrazzi. All that space and time, and he goes bar down. Comes out as soon as it went in. What a goal for Ferrazzi. His second of the game. And for Luke Ferrazzi, his 7th of the year. Couldn't have come at a better time. And can Farmingdale gain momentum? They're still 4 aside, and now a power play for the Farmingdale State Rams. Begins now. There's a minute and 20 seconds left on it. Ignore what I got on the scoreboard for now. There we go. 3-3. Brand new game. Power play, Farmingdale. Ferrazzi could not get around the defenseman putt. And cuts down clear. Pavone out to stop it. LaFata. Good move in the neutral zone, picks up speed. Shot from the far circle, denied by the blocker of Chuchi. Lavoie to Paratori, back to Lavoie, one time rip. Shut down by the blocker, or stick, or both, of Chuchi. DeAndrea couldn't quite possess the puck. Banked by the stick of Paratori. He's back to get it. DeAndrea with 18 seconds left on the Farmingdale power play. Walks. DeAndrea, power heavy on the stick. He gets taken down, no call. And out of the zone it goes. Handled by Lena. He gave it up to Leone. In comes Leone. Try to center one. It's blocked by Lena. And we're at 5 aside. Castellano left it behind him. Tries to track back to it. And eventually he does get back on the puck. Hands off to Lena. Lena ahead for Wadika, who backhands in. Castellano hard on the forecheck, takes it away, flips it back to the blue line. Wrist shot, traffic deflected in front by Pace just over the net. And a stick goes flying. Delayed call. It's going to go against Farmingdale. My, oh my. We were 5 aside for what? Minute? Power play Kutztown. And so for the Farmingdale PK unit, that remained perfect through the first 2 periods. faced its biggest test yet here in the third. Kutztown did convert with the man advantage here in the third period. They have another chance to do so, and it'll give them their first lead of the night if they can get it. Or pardon me, their second lead, and they led a 3-2 earlier in the period. However, it was short-lived. Looking to regain that lead, Isak. Backhands around. Manzi will get there first. Nearly got it onto the stick of Riberich, but they'll take the clear either way. Hand off now. Good read by Ian Riberich. Going to work short-handed. Oh, a takeaway, Riberich! Riberich! Save made! What a play by Ian Riberich! And he's denied by Chuchi. Excellent penalty killing from Ian Riberich creates this opportunity. Went to the backhand. Just couldn't get enough lift on the puck. What a shift, though, for Mr. Riberich. So, minute 35 left on the Kutztown power play. Offensive zone draw for Farmingdale, and they win it right on goal, where having no issue to seal that puck up and redo it all again was Chuchi. Kutztown control on the defensive zone draw win. Leone gets around pace and sends in. Manzi cuts it off and will flip it right back out. Out to stop it, Chuchi. Aaron pass, and Farmingdale rip it right back on goal. Chuchi gets down, gets the stick down, makes the save off the shot from the neutral zone. And once again, Kutztown look to break in there. You got under a minute remaining on their power play. And nearly another turnover forced by Farmingdale as Kutztown try to enter the zone. Manzi going to work in the corner. Kutztown do dig it free, and Anello couldn't keep it in. Now, yes, they do keep it in. Great play there by Anello along the near side. Now the puck comes out of the zone, and another whistle. And this time, will it be an offsides or a penalty against? It will be a penalty against Kutztown. That'll end their power play. The Farmingdale PK unit, which has been active often here in this game, gets it done for, I want to say, the 8th or 9th time here tonight. So 4 aside again. This time again for 30 seconds. They win the draw. Shot denied. And that shot deflecting up off the bar of the low-hanging ceiling here in Ice Works in Syosset. 23 seconds left on the minor penalty for Watica. Wrist shot DeAndrea never got through. 15 more seconds of 4-a-side hockey. They got a 4-on-4 goal. The last time there was a 4-on-4, it was scored by Ferrazzi. It tied the game at 3. Kutztown gained control. Isak had it steered away from him by Paratori. Paratori trying to nudge it past Isak once more. He'll settle it down in his own end. There's a power play for Farmingdale. And it starts now. And it's got a minute and I want to say 10, 15 seconds left on it. Here we go. Having trouble establishing the zone, Paratori. For Lavoie. He'll establish the zone. Make a nice move. No Lavoie! Shot over the net. Might have glanced off the netminder Chuchi, not sure. Lafada down low. Lavoie. Lavoie out in front. A good stick provided by Bauer, broke it up, and Kutztown clear. And falling down to the ice as he went out to play at Pavone, but he stopped it behind his net nonetheless. Larry Lena. Head now for Lafada. Drops it for Ferrazzi. Ferrazzi, a shot and a save made by Chuchi. They go below the goal line out in front. Nobody home. Lavoie taps it on for Lena. Lena with 15 seconds to go on the power play. Down the wall. D'Andrea pinned against the wall. 7 seconds on the power play. Here's Ferrazzi. The back pass. D'Andrea wide. Ferrazzi again out in front. Nobody home. Doesn't get through. A stuff-in try is shut down by Chuchi as the penalty expires. 5:14 left in the third period. Face off to the left of the aforementioned Kutztown netminder. One in the defensive end by Kutztown. Offsides is, so the arm raised. I saw the arm raised. I went, another penalty, of course. No, not to be. Ritz cruising around his net, picking up speed to the neutral zone. Here comes Carter Ritz, and it's shut down. Great defensive stick by Farmingdale. They'll finally gain control of the loose puck. It's just sitting there. Ritz will play it back, and it misfires, trying to take advantage. Castellano, he's aggressive on the forecheck. And he absolutely demolishes the defender. A clean hit. And an injured player. As a result, the Kutztown bench doesn't like it. Somehow it's not a penalty on Farmingdale. And I say somehow not because it should have been. But it's just been that way here tonight. We wish the player all the best, of course, for Kutztown, trying to get a number there as he was absolutely blown up on the play. The officials and linesmen are actually all in discussion here. I saw a clean hit. First thought of a potential penalty for charging, maybe, but I thought he glided into him. The player who got lit up there was Asher Putt. Putt is on his feet and onto the bench, going to be checked out by the athletic trainer and staff. And we wish him all the well. And these are players. They're playing hockey for the love of the game. College hockey, ACHA. I'm going to apologize for any video buffering and video quality or at the mercy of the Wi-Fi here. Face-off coming to the right of goaltender Chuchi. No penalties assessed. The referee explaining to the Kutztown bench why there was no penalty there. Just a clean, physical hit. High flip, glove down by Manzi along the near side. Comes free to Grillo on the other end of the ice. And he'll flip it into the Farmingdale bench with 4:17 left here in the third. A stop and go first period, a momentous second period, which in comparison flew by to this third and first period. Let me tell you, Farmingdale win the defensive zone draw, turnover, put out in front. Kutztown couldn't get a stick on it. Now the other way, it's D'Alessandro. A little too far for the outstretched Ferrazzi. And regathering control is Slotwinski. Hops over the stick of Jaden Grillo, goes back to get it. Luke Manzi. Now Ferrazzi. He'll flip it on goal, blockered away by Chuchi. Play to the near wall. Riberich sealing it off. Ferrazzi walks, sharp angle try off the side of the net. Now regaining control is Canestra. Canestra tried to center a pass on for Griffin Carpenter. It's cut off by Malandrucolo. And now Riberich to Ferrazzi. He'll backhand in. 3:20 left here in regulation. All tied up at 3. Farmingdale in Kutztown. It's Pavone out of his net, playing it around. It is promptly cut off by a forechecking Isak. Tanjuco keeping in for Kutztown. Puck rolls to the near wall once more. Riberich. Pinned to the wall by Isak. Back to the blue line. Shot and a great block that time by Ferrazzi. And now Ferrazzi goes down. Penalty on Kutztown. And that's an obvious one. Anello, no hesitation, goes straight to the box as he took down Luke Ferrazzi. Power play Farmingdale, 2:51 left here in the third period. Critical juncture of the game. Ripping a shot is Lavoie, and it's swallowed up by Chuchi. Interference the call on Anello. Face-off one in the offensive zone by Farmingdale. Ferrazzi around the horn to DeAndrea. DeAndrea back out to the point. Paratori down low for Lavoie. Pass block. Got it right back. Send it back to Paratori. Ferrazzi. DeAndrea. Everything so far to the outside. Credit to the Kutztown penalty killing unit. Now puck pinned along the wall. DeAndrea coming in to help out. Comes free. Ferrazzi knocks it down. Played across. Paratori looking to go back the other way. Loose out in front. Flip to safety. Just outside the zone. Ferrazzi picks it up. They'll play it back to Paratori, and they'll start the rush up the other way once more. Deflected in by DeAndrea, but Farmingdale did not have anyone forechecking in. And that allows Kutztown to slow things down and clear it, but only as far as the red line. Ferrazzi right back in with speed. Luke Ferrazzi. Try to center when it was blocked. Loose puck picked up by DeAndrea, who wheels. DeAndrea, shot blocker save made by Chuchi. DeAndrea, wrister blocked. Getting in the way of that one was Jansen. DeAndrea, circling. Chris DeAndrea around, hoping for Ferrazzi. Couldn't get there to the line and out. It got by Paratori. Farmingdale quick reset. Just 25 seconds left on the power play. Paratori. Farmingdale now making a partial change. Lavoie. Nice move, Lavoie. Quick cut. Gets him into the zone. Dropped it for DeAndrea. Nice little move to receive it. DeAndrea backhands went across in a diving effort to clear the zone. A great play made by Canestra, who goes for a change and now picked up by Carpenter. As we're back to 5-on-5. Feel like we've been non-5-on-5 more than we've been 5-on-5 this game thus far. Tom Forty arrives to the loose puck by getting there first. Bauer circling a tired Farmingdale unit, it would appear. Carpenter had to roll off his stick, but able to get it over to Tanjuco. His pass intercepted. Farmingdale clear. Riberich with Tom Forty. Riberich sends in Tom Forty off to get it in the opposite corner. Dying moments, third period, 14 seconds to go. Riberich in the opposite corner as the bodies pile up. Flipped into the Kutztown bench. That'll stop the clock with 5.8 left in regulation time. We're tied at 3. We will head to overtime if a goal is not scored in these remaining 5 seconds and 0.8 of a second. Face off one in the defensive end by Kutztown, and that's enough to let the 5 seconds drop off, and we will head to overtime here in Syosset. Farmingdale 3, Kutztown 3. It felt like it took 2 days and 13 hours to get here, and we have arrived at the end of regulation time. Tied at 3, because why not? Let's play some more hockey. In just 6 minutes, it'll be midnight. So thank you all who are still tuned in. LISN After Dark here is the midnight hour is soon upon us. You better bet I'm getting an Iron Maiden 2 minutes to midnight reference in just a moment. Quite the game it's been. Let's do a quick recap here as the players arrive at their benches. So the Kutztown equalizing goal scored by D'Alessio, or pardon me, that was not the equalizing goal. D'Alessio made it 3-2. The assists on that goal to Chase Canestra and Gavin Mollenkoff. Prior to that, Farmingdale had scored the last 2 goals. Those goals scored by Luke Lafata, with Riberich the assist. And one of the 2 goals on the night for Luke Ferrazzi. This one assisted by Lena. Actually, the other goal is credited to DeAndrea, 78, with Lafata and Malandrucolo the assists. My apologies. No, it says here, no, yeah, no. 2 goals for Ferrazzi. I was right. Ferrazzi from Lafata and Ferrazzi from Lena. No correction there. My text message chain. Overtime. Set to begin. 5 minutes up on the board for this overtime period. And all I can really hope for is that there are no penalties. This game has had plenty of it. It's too many. It's enough. That's enough, right? That's enough. Enough with the penalties. Cuts down goals. Again, I mentioned the one. Scores on the power play. Again, the power play. Series of power plays in that third period for Kutztown. Proving critical in their completion of the comeback and eventual taking of the lead, 3-2. Here we go. We're set. Here in overtime, both goaltenders, Pavone and Chucci, outstanding. Farmingdale win the opening draw. It's Lena for Riberich. Riberich and Ferrazzi, the forward group up front. As we go 3 aside. Carpenter and Mollenkoff, the forward group for Kutztown. Farmingdale struggling to enter the zone. Lena's pass. Can't find Riberich, and Riberich will just fire it back to his goalie, something you'll see in soccer, not too often here in hockey, but 3-on-3. In order to maintain possession, you'll see it. Ferrazzi goes down all on his own accord. Lena to Ferrazzi. Farmingdale looking a bit rusty here to start the overtime period. Gathered in by Riberich, who starts in ice. In the zone, Riberich, a shot blocked. Poked, nice play by Ferrazzi. Takes it away. He moves in. Ferrazzi scores! Luke Ferrazzi completes the hat trick with the overtime winner, and Farmingdale defeat Kutztown 4-3. There's the celebration, the huddle. They dealt with all the adversity a team could handle here tonight. Short-handed often, and they fought through it all, tied the game in the third period, and Farazi wins it. One more look at the game-winning goal, the hat-trick goal for Luke Farazi, his 8th of the year. Picks a corner, another water bottle shot. How about it, Luke Farazi? And that's how you celly a game winner, hat-trick goal. The team shakes hands, as is customary, after each game. What a game it was. Did it have the most flow? No, but this isn't flow hockey. It's just hockey on LI Sports Network, and again, a fabulous game. 4-3 your final. Thank you so much for tuning in to LI Sports Network's coverage of Farmingdale State College Hockey, ACHA M3. From our cameraman, Wally Mitchell, I am Ryan Brannigan with a special shout out to play-by-play for Kutztown, Nick Garofalo, for giving me some information throughout, making the trip over on the bus, 4 hours away. Till next time, as always, have a good night.